everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do another skin tutorial using only a set of 24 pencils, and we are going to do this grayscale picture. So the pencils that I'm using is a set of 24, which includes a white, a light yellow and a dark yellow, a light orange and a dark orange, a peach one, the one that we used to call flesh color. Most of the people use it for flesh. A pink, a light red, a dark red and a maroon, a light purple and a darker purple, light and dark blue, light and dark green, camo green, aqua, light and dark. These browns, there's three of them, one with a yellow undertone, one with a red undertone and a dark brown, a grey and black. So we're going to start off. This is the light green that I've picked. To start off, we're going to do a very light layer on all the shadowy parts, the grey parts. Very lightly. We don't want it to look like Shrek, but we need that undertone because we are going to use a lot of yellows and oranges, and we just want the colors to balance from the start, not struggling with a red face or an orange face afterwards. So a very light layer of green only on the shadowy parts. Next we are going to go in with a peachy color, and we are going to do a light layer all over her skin, her whole face, shadowy parts and your highlights. So you don't want a dark layer. This is just basically laying down an undertone. So I've taken the darkest red, the maroon color, and we are going to go into all of the darkest shadows very lightly. We don't want it to be red either. Very lightly, we're just gonna go over all the very dark areas. And we're just gonna add a little layer. Just want to show you the browns I have. It would be these three. So you will see we've got a golden brown or a yellow brown, a reddish brown, and a dark brown. So for now we are going to go with this brown. So over your darkest shadows and a little bit into your highlights, you're going to add a very light layer of this one. You want to keep the layers light so that it's easier to blend when you are done with all your layers. We don't want any harsh lines. So after you've extended all your darkest shadows, you can go in and have a look. All the areas that are a little more gray than in the highlights, not your darkest areas, like for instance a nose. It's not a dark shadow, but there is a bit of a shadow, so I want you to darken up a little bit of those. Getting a little shape to her face. So next we're going to go in with your lighter orange. We are going to do exactly the same as the previous pencil, and we're going to go over the darkest shadows into the lightest area, and again a little bit over that, a little bit further, extending it a little more. So the biggest mistake most people make when they color grayscale, because it's your shadows are already added there. They think you can just go in, or you can, it's not wrong, to go in with 3 colors and think you're gonna get a perfectly blended face. But it's not true. You still have to add your different layers, your different colors over each other. It just gives it a little bit more definition. Make it a little bit more lifelike. So it still needs all those undertones. Like skin is just not just one color. It's a build-up of different colors. And I know there's not a lot of people that likes layering. But unfortunately, it's the way to go if you want that depth in your pictures. I'm not an expert at in any way. I didn't have any formal training, art training. I'm just a colorist. So what I'm trying to say is that even if it's grayscale, we still need to layer. We still need to get all those colors down. Exactly the same as line art. It's just a little bit easier because they give you your shadows already. You don't have to go and put it in yourself. Which makes for prettier pictures. And it makes it easier. Personally, I love to color grayscale. Just get it a little better. To me, it looks a little better. But you still need to go and put in the work. And the time and the patience. Good. Next up, I'm going to take my light yellow or a cream color if you have. So the lightest of the 2 yellows. I'm going to do a light layer on all the areas that I want highlighted. I don't want it to look yellow. The yellow is just going to give us a little bit of a lighter highlight. So very lightly. So next up I'm going to use my yellow brown or the golden brown, and we are going to do exactly the same as all the other pencils, going over the shadowed areas and a little bit into the highlight. Just light layers. All of these layers will work together at some point. If you add enough layers to your page, you don't need to go and burnish it at the end. It will fill the tooth by itself. So try to keep your layers light so that they blend together and you don't have to go and struggle afterwards to blend your colors. If you keep it even light layers, they will blend by itself. Next I'm going to use my darkest purple, and I'm going to go in all the shaded areas, the dark areas, very lightly. I'm going to add a layer. You'll see the colors have started to come together now. And the purple is just going to give it a little bit more natural look. So next you're going to take your lighter purple. This is more a little bit of a pinkish purple. And then go not into the darkest shadows. We just want to extend the previous purple that we used. And we just want to extend it a little bit further. Just to even out the little bit of yellow that we have on the skin. It just evens that out a little bit. So next we are going to go back with the peach color and go over everything. I'm going in with a medium pressure this time. Started blending out. In the highlights, only light pressure again, not going hard. Just lift the pressure a little bit off the pencil when you go into the highlighted areas. As I explained in my previous videos, for those who didn't see it, if you are struggling with a heavy hand on your pictures and you struggle to get thin layers, holding your pencil back as far as possible will make it easier for you to get light layers. And this I blend it out very nicely. So we are almost done. If you can see at the bottom, there's a little bit of grey still, or it's a little bit too grey for me. So I'm taking my maroon again, and just in the darkest area. I'm not going to go into the lighter areas again, just in the darkest area. I'm just going to do a light layer, just to pink it up a little bit. Get rid of that grey. Just a light layer. We don't want now any harsh lines appearing suddenly. So just a very light layer. Then we go back with the light orange. And we are going to go over all the darkest areas and a little bit into the mid colors. So then a last part, if you find that your shadows are still very dark, very grey, too brown for your liking, you can go in with your orange red. So between the reds that I have, it would be this one compared to your light red, your dark red. So this is your orange red. We're going to use this one. So just over, very lightly, we don't want a red face. All those parts that seem to you too grey or too brown, too dark, just go over with a red, very lightly. If you find that the colors that you used is too red, or too red, you can always go back in with green. So I'm using my camo green just for the forehead, so just a little bit red to me. I'm going to dull it down with a very, very light, just a little bit of green, just dulling the red down. don't know if you can see the difference. Just take a little bit of that red away. Again, we don't want to look like Shrek, or let her look like Shrek. We don't want an ogre. Just want to get rid of that red. So the last thing I want to do quickly is just to give her eyes some accent. Just darken it up with small lines, thin lines. And this is with a black pencil. There you have it, the pencils that I've used to color my grayscale skin. Thank you for watching. I hope you could have learned something from this. I know there's a lot of people that don't like layering. They don't have the patience maybe for it. But it's like playing piano. Play the lyric side with your right hand, and it's a perfectly beautiful, recognizable song with only one hand. But it's so much better if you add the left hand and do the whole thing. It's just a different ball game. The whole song will sound differently. And that is what you get when you layer. If you pick 1 or 2 or 3 pencils coloring a face, no problem. It will still look like a face. It will be still an amazing drawing. But using more colors, using more layers, it will just make it a whole new ball game. Your coloring will be so much different. I don't say that's the only way. I don't say it's the right way, the correct way. This is just me showing you how I do it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Please join me again, and to my Afrikaans viewers, mooi loop.